unseized, even if we seize that music, that bliss, we lose the heavenly music sense. We make it earthly. We reduce it to our proportions, and the heavenly notes recede. Too near, the rhythmic cry has flagged or failed. The rhythms of heaven cannot be supported by the grossness of earth. All sweetnesses are baffling symbols here. All that we think and experience as sweetness on earth are paradoxes. They always carry behind them their shadows. Love dies before the lover in our breast. Even as we talk of love, even as we experience love, it starts dying. Our joys are perfumes in a brittle vase. A vase, a flower vase, is very brittle. And the joys that we seek for are like perfumes in a vase that may break any moment. Oh, then, what wreck is this upon time's sea? To spread life's sails to the hurricane desire, and call for pilot the unseeing heart. She accuses her daughter, what art thou doing? Thou art spreading the sails of thy life, the boat of thy life, to the hurricane desire with which thou art seized, and thou sendst a call to thy heart which is blind to pilot thy boat of life. That is, thou art driven by desire and by emotions of the heart which is always blind. And what a tragedy, what a wreck of life. O child, wilt thou proclaim, wilt thou then follow against the law that is the eternal will, the autarky of the rash Titan's mood, to whom his own fierce will is the one law, in a world where truth is not, nor light, nor God? She says, the law of God, the eternal will, are you going to break them, to stand against them, and follow this rash impulse? It is the rash Titan's mood that has seized thee. And to that rash Titan, his own fierce will is the law, not the law of God, not the law of the eternal will. And for him, his is the law in this world where truth is not. Truth may be elsewhere, but not in our world, where so much of injustice is perpetrated, where so much of suffering is heaped, nor light nor God. And art thou going to proclaim and follow against the law of God? Art thou going to follow the Titan's mood? Only the gods can speak what thou now speakest. She is amazed. A human being can't speak like this. Gods can afford to talk like that. He says, only the gods can speak what now thou speakest. Remember, thou who art human, think not like a god. For man, below the god, above the brute, is given the calm reason as his guide. She implies that Savitri is not allowing her reason to work. She reminds her that man who is below the god But above the brute has been given calm reason as his guide, not impetuous desire or the mood of the titan. He is not driven by an unthinking will, as are the actions of the bird and beast. Thou art human, and thou cannot act like a bird and beast. And he is not moved by stark necessity. Man, the human being, is not moved by stark necessity, like the senseless motion of inconscient things. They are governed by a law of necessity, an inevitable course of happenings. But man need not be so. The giants and the titans' furious march climbs to usurp the kingdom of the gods, or skirts the demon magnitudes of hell. Of course, he speaks of the titans, he speaks of the giants. They may try to set aside the law of God and climb to usurp the kingdom of the gods, or skirts, go round about the demon magnitudes of hell. They can dare. In the unreflecting passion of their hearts, they dash their lives against the eternal law. The asuras, the titans, the evil beings, they are moved by their passion. They are driven by their passion, which is unreflecting, and they dash themselves against the rock of eternal law and fall and break by their own violent mass. Their strength, their huge proportions make them fall and break. The middle path is made for thinking man, not the luminous path of the gods, not the reckless path of the titans, but the middle path is made for thinking man. That is why he has been given calm reason for his guide. What is given to man, the human being? To choose his steps by reason's vigilant light. When you are calm, when you allow reason to guide you, it casts a vigilant light. A light it casts ahead with a vigilance that shows up the dark areas, that shows the steps to be taken. To choose his path among the many paths is given him. He is given the freedom. He is given the light to choose what path he will tread in the many paths that lie. For each his difficult goal hewn out of infinite possibility. Each person is guided to his difficult goal, which is hewn out, cut out of infinite possibilities. That is given to man. Leave not thy goal, thou art human, thou hast to have a human goal, a human approach, a human walk, a human walk. But he says, leave not thy goal to follow a beautiful face. Only when thou hast climbed above thy mind and livest in the calm vastness of the One, can love be eternal in the eternal bliss, and love divine replace the human time. Thou hast not yet qualified to win that love. What thou hast today is only the human tie. Only when thou hast climbed above thy mind and livest in the calm vastness of the One? Can love be eternal in the eternal bliss? On the human level, love cannot be eternal. Love cannot give uninterrupted bliss. Only and love divine replace the human tie. She doesn't even call it love, human love. She says tie. There is a shrouded law, an austere force in the cosmos to help human beings. There is a law which is clouded, which is covered, an austere force, a lone, earnest, strong, self-sufficient force. It bids thee strengthen thy undying spirit. Thou hast an undying spirit within thee, and this law wants thee to strengthen, call forth and strengthen thy immortal spirit. It offers its severe benignances of work and thought and measured grave delight as steps to climb to God's far secret heights. Now that law and the force of that law, it provides man with steps to reach the far secret heights of God. And what are the steps that it provides? Work, thought, and measured grave delight. Delight which is responsible, which is serious, and measured, which is not intemperate, which is not wild. Now these are the steps by which man climbs to the heights of God. Only when we do that, then is our life a tranquil pilgrimage. Life acquires a meaning, life becomes tranquil and a pilgrimage to the Spirit, and each year a mile upon the heavenly way. Each year that we live marks a milestone upon the heavenly way, not the way to hell. Each dawn opens into a larger light. When we observe the law, when we obey the secret force, then every moment becomes a step Godward. And when we do that, she points out, thy acts are thy helpers, or events are signs. Everything, as Mother says, for a person who is awake, for a person who is sincere, everything is meaningful. Even what we are apt to dismiss as insignificant and meaningless, they have a lesson to teach. They have something to point. And it is only when we are thus vigilant that thy acts are thy helpers, or events are signs. Waking and sleep are opportunities given to thee by an immortal power. Waking is an opportunity, but he says even sleep is an opportunity given by an immortal power. Of course, provided we know how to sleep, we know how to be conscious in sleep, we know how to indraw in the bosom of peace when we go to sleep. More progress is achieved during those hours than during our restless waking hours when we are at the mercy of external circumstances. So canst thou raise thy pure unvanquished spirit till, spread to heaven in a wide vesper calm, indifferent and gentle as the sky, it greatens slowly into timeless peace. It is thus that thou hast to live, and only so can thou raise thy pure, unconquered spirit to radiate, to spread itself to heaven in a wide evening calm, which is indifferent to pain and suffering of earth, but yet gentle, gentle as the sky, and it greatens slowly. Thy spirit shall slowly expand and greaten into timeless peace. That will be the peak. That is what the queen tells Savitri. But she says, but Savitri replied with steadfast eyes. Her eyes do not show any kind of inconstancy, but they are steady. My will is part of the eternal will. That's why I can't change my will. It is a projection of the eternal will of God. My fate is what my spirit's strength can make. It is not the outer circumstances of this person or that person that is going to forge my fate, but my fate is what my spirit's strength can make. My fate is what my spirit's strength can bear. My spirit, my soul, forges such a fate that it can bear it. My strength is not the Titan, it is God's. She assures her mother, don't think that I am being led by the drive of a Titan. My strength is not the Titan, it is God's. I have discovered my glad reality beyond my body in another's being. He says, I have discovered my true reality, joyous reality in him, in Satyavan. I have found the deep unchanging soul of love in him. Then how shall I desire a lonely good? How can I seek my own good alone, separate from him? Or slay, aspiring to white, vacant peace, the endless hope that made my soul spring forth out of its infinite solitude and sleep? She casts a look backwards and sees her soul coming out of its infinite sleep of trance in the bosom of the infinite. She is not a person who is born out of the compulsions of karma, but out of an endless hope to manifest God, to manifest love, to conquer death. Now with that hope of God, her soul sprang up from that infinite solitude and step. Now she says, wanting my single salvation, how can I slay that hope which made me spring up from that solitude and sleep? My spirit has glimpsed the glory for which it came, beating of one vast heart in the flame of things. My spirit has not only glimpsed the glory for which it has descended, but it has also felt the throbbing of one great vast heart in the flame of all things. My eternity clasped by his eternity, Satyavan's eternity, and tireless of the sweet abysms of time. Time may have its dangers, time may have its bottomless pits, but tireless of that, deep possibility always to live, love. My soul, my spirit has glimpsed that deep possibility of eternal love despite of the many abysms, the dangers threatened by time. This is first. Last joy, for me, this is the first joy and the last joy. And to its throb, the love for Satyavan, to its throb, the riches of 1,000 fortunate years are a poverty. It may be brief, it may be 1 year. What does it matter? Compared to that, even 1,000 happy years are a pittance, are a poverty. Nothing to me are death and grief. What do death and grief mean to me? Or ordinary lives and happy days? They are nothing to me. Once I am with him, these do not matter. And what to me are common souls of men, or eyes and lips that are not Satyavans? Only Satyavan matters to me. The soul of any person, the eyes and lips of any person, how do they matter to me? I have no need to draw back from his arms and the discovered paradise of his love and journey into a still infinity. Into a still infinity of the Spirit. I do not need to go there, forsaking this paradise of love which I have discovered in him. I have no need to withdraw from his arms. Only now, for my soul in Satyavan, I treasure the rich occasion of my birth. I may not have done it so long, but now, because of my soul which is given to Satyavan, I treasure the moment when I was born. Because only so could my soul rest in Satyavan. In sunlight and a dream of emerald ways, I shall walk with him like gods in paradise. If for a year, that year is all my life. That's what she says emphatically. If he is to live for a year is enough. All my life I am satisfied. If for a year, that year is all my life. And yet I know this is not all my fate. She recovers her spirits and she says, but I know very well that this is not the whole story. And my fate is not only to love and live and love a while and die. I am not born just to live, love for a while and then die. For I know now why my spirit came on earth and who I am and who he is I love. I know it for certain. I have looked at him from my immortal self, not from desire, not from the momentary mood of a heart. She replies indirectly. She says, I have looked at him from my immortal self. I have seen God smile at me in Satyavan. She tells her mother, I am not a plaything of passions or desires. It is my soul, it is my self that has looked at him. And I have seen God smile at me in Satyavan. I have seen the eternal in a human face. His face is human. But I have beheld the eternal. After she said that, then none could answer to her words. Neither the queen nor anybody could dare answer. Silent they sat. They were all awestruck, got under a spell as it were. Silent they sat and looked into the eyes of fate. There was fate looming everywhere, and as if all are regarding the decree of fate. That's the end of the canto, and next canto we take up the way of fate and the problem of pain. Here in this canto, Sri Aurobindo faces the problem very squarely. which no philosopher or saint seer has done. Destiny, fate, suffering, pain, and fate. Why? What is fate? To what extent is man, is the human being subject to fate? Is fate uneradicable? Has fate got to be suffered? And why? Why does even God respect the law of fate? And why this pain in a world which is repeatedly created by God out of bliss, and bliss is said to be the underlying current of life? Why evil? Why pain? How did it come? What's the purpose? Now all these are faced squarely and answered by him unambiguously. This is the canto on which he spent a lot of time during his last days in the physical body, and there are many memorable portions, and I hope we will all enjoy it when we meet next.